Hello and welcome back to another Easy Odds Premier League video cast. We're back for another couple of winning tips from my man, the Mad Dog Ross Casey.
Yep, had a pretty good week so far, Jake.
We've all had pretty good weeks, I think.
Absolutely, Easy Odds are on fire.
Yeah, we've both had good weeks, horse racing and football.
Absolutely.
But let's get started. We'll start off with Arsenal versus Norwich. I mean, Arsenal's still playing for their Champions League place. They obviously can't win the league anymore. Norwich have been really poor actually in bad recently, but what's gonna go on?
Yeah, as you say, two teams that have still got plenty to play for. Obviously, not what Arsenal fans wanted them to be playing for. Although I'm sure Tottenham fans will argue that fourth place is all that they play for these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, huge implications at both sides of the table. As you'd expect, looking at this match on paper, Arsenal are the huge favourites here. 3 to 10 best price, really short price. Norwich are available at 12 to 1, pretty massive price. And you can say what you want about Norwich, but this is a football, and strange things do happen. Of course, they did go to Old Trafford and win there earlier in the season. Scoring 2 goals at Old Trafford is no mean feat, as we all know. They're just incredible.
It's pretty much impossible
defensively at home. So anything can happen here, but I certainly wouldn't bet against Arsenal in a accumulator, as they are such a short price. I wouldn't say that it's a worthwhile standalone bet. So that's why I'm going back to my promised land of Arsenal to win 2-0 in this game. Backed it twice in 2 weeks now. 1 win, 1 late goal conceded to that man Yannick Bolasie.
Oh yeah.
Let me down, but they managed it against West Brom, which was a decent result, especially when you consider that Tottenham failed to beat them on Monday night. And I think that's just really good value, as Arsenal have only scored 26 home league goals this season, so you're not really worthwhile backing them in the handicap market all that often, especially up against a Norwich team who will probably have to sit back and try and win this game with a good defence. But Arsenal have only conceded 11 goals this season at home. They're on the back of 2 clean sheets against Sunderland and against West Brom. 2 of the poorer sides in the Premier League, granted, but you certainly put Norwich alongside those 2 teams. And they are playing a team with the joint third worst away goal scoring record in the league, Norwich. So they're unlikely to score at the Emirates, in my opinion, and so that's why I'm going to be backing 11 to 10 best price Arsenal to win 2-0. I think that's a pretty decent price there.
Yeah.
Also, I always do a little dabble into the anytime scorers, and I found Jack Wilshere. He came off the bench for the first time in a long time against Sunderland on the weekend. This is the fixture, of course, that he scored that absolutely incredible tiki-taka goal.
Oh yeah, that was beast.
From 2 years ago.
That was a beauty.
Up against John Reddy, and he's up against him yet again here. Worst price 11 to 4, but you can get a best price of 4 to 1. So if he starts the game, then that will probably give the Emirates a big lift, which it needs with the Wenger out, brigade in full force at the moment. Piers Morgan. Yeah. So yeah, 4 to 1 on Wilshere if he starts. Looks a pretty decent price. I think
he will start.
Possibly, yeah.
Norwich good for England.
Absolutely, yeah. Norwich are a pretty good team to start them up against. They're not the type to go out and kick players, really, are they? They're quite a nice footballing team. So that's what you want for Jack Wilshere, having wrapped up in cotton wool.
Yeah.
So yeah, a nice one to start him in home tie against a struggling team. But yeah, my outstanding tip there is Arsenal to win 2-0 again, 11 to 10 best price.
Okay, I like that. 11 to 10 odds against is always you always look for the old odds against as well, don't you?
Absolutely.
Rather than massive odds on Arsenal to win. What are they, 3 to 10?
3 to 10.
3 to 10. That's awful. So let's go to
the biggest match of the season so far.
The biggest match of the season so far. We've got Man United versus Leicester. Man United still have a squeak making the Champions League. Leicester are, I would almost say, home and dry now with the league title. Especially with Ali he's gonna get pretty long ban, I reckon, for that probably. Yeah. Well, we'll definitely be out for the underhanded weird punch thing they did the other day. But why would you do that? I mean, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, it's just crazy.
He's not waving, he's punching.
It's just crazy to me. I know. Just stuff with his hands. Right. Man United versus Leicester.
Absolutely huge game, as I said. Yeah, Leicester trying to win their first ever Premier League title up against the most decorated team in the Premier League history. Man United away, absolutely huge. Of course, Arsenal did it a few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
They went to Old Trafford and won the league with Will Tord. Can Leicester do it?
A few years ago.
That was, well, you know.
Will Tord.
To me, that's a few years ago.
Yeah.
Try and still sound young. I actually think it's going to be slightly improbable for them to win this game. I realise that the bookies keep on saying that about them, like they're a best price here, 29 to 10.
United or
Leicester.
Okay.
And I actually agree with them for once. I actually always think that Leicester are overpriced here. But I do think that's a fair price up against a Man United team that are absolutely flying at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that Man United, on the back of their 17 clean sheets at home this season, that's just an incredible stat, isn't it?
That is
17 clean sheets with just the best goalkeeper in the world, David De Gea, in between the sticks. I just think that they can beat the current table toppers. Man United have won 4 matches in a row now, and they've had a confidence boost in the last minute win at Wembley, of course, against Everton. That was a huge win. They're so wasteful, Man United. They create so many chances, and at the moment they're not really taking as many. They should be thumping teams 3 or 4-0, the amount of chances they're creating, but they're being really, really wasteful at the moment. But with a defence as good as they got at Old Trafford, they would need to win by 1 goal, and they do that quite often. So I do think that Man United are going to win this game. Leicester's goals have dried up away from home a little bit. The Foxes have scored more than once, just 3 times in their last 9. So it's at home that they're starting to score more goals. And obviously they're away here up against a good defence. And to add to that, Leicester have scored just 1 goal in the last 6 visits to Old Trafford. So historically they're not looking great in this fixture. Granted, this is one hell of a squad that they've got, and it's clearly their best squad for possibly ever.
Yeah, I would say ever.
But I just feel that Man United have got it in them to win this game, and I think 11 to 10 is a fair price. At home, Man United just seem to have the knack of winning games at the moment, and they're coming into this game in decent form. Vardy's out. That's a big blow to Leicester, and I just think that it's all kind of resulting in a win here for Man United. But Leicester fans, that does give you the opportunity to win the Premier League in front of your own fans at the King Power Stadium next time out, which I think will be an even better story.
Yeah, just lose deliberately.
Hopefully, and then
even if they tried to lose deliberately, it would still be 0-0 at half time.
Absolutely,
definitely would be 0-0 at half time. Martial is class though. I mean, he was
Martial, Rashford, absolutely excellent.
Yeah, I think they're going to be really, really good next season. If they have Mourinho or not.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting one. Just as we said about the Wenger out brigade, there's plenty of Louis van Gaal out people for Man United also, isn't there? So who knows who'll be in charge of both those teams at the end of the season.
Maybe they can swap.
That
would be insane. Wenger the same manager of United. Okay, next up, the last game of the weekend, or I think it's one of the last games, game we're covering anyway. Southampton versus Man City. Obviously, Man City ground a nice 0-0 draw against Real Madrid. It was in what was an amazing game, but it was a good result for them, really, if you think about it.
Yep.
They
stopped them from getting the away goal, didn't they?
Didn't get the away goal if they go and score a goal away from home.
Real Madrid need to score 2, and possibly without Ronaldo.
Those are the rules.
Indeed.
And then Southampton, well, they're not playing for anything.
They're not playing for anything, no. Well, they have got still an opportunity of getting into the Europa League. They tried to get in the Europa League last season and fell at the last hurdle. But can they go one further this time round? If they reach it, then possibly so. But yeah, Man City sit in 3rd place at the moment, 12 points behind leaders Leicester. That's crazy when you think of how much the 2 teams have spent on their 2 squads.
12 points behind Leicester.
Absolutely crazy. But can they pick up 3 points against the improving Saints? I'm not entirely sure. They're actually a best price at the moment, 13 to 8, and that shows that the bookies don't fancy them that much either, because they're odds against in this tie. They're up against Ronald Koeman's side, who at the moment have won 9 of the last 17 home games. which is a decent stat for Southampton. They've got the 4th best home scoring record with 31 goals to their names. They scored plenty of goals at St Mary's. But interestingly, they're facing Man City here, who have got the best away defensive record out of all 20 Premier League teams. So that's quite an interesting tie there, where you've got a really good attacking home team and a really good defensive away team. Kind of feel the clash of the Titans a little bit there.
Yeah.
Really interesting. But just looking at that, I just kind of feel that Real Madrid is looming ahead of Man City. I'm not entirely sure of the team that they're going to play in this game.
Yeah.
I think 13-8 is a fair price. Any kind of odds against price for a team that you assume is the favourites, I always feel is a decent price, personally. But I think that Southampton drawing a bet at the best price of evens is my go-to bet here, Jake.
Okay.
Southampton won 10 of the last 16 games this season, so they've actually finished the season really, really well.
Yeah.
And they're up against a City team who are likely to reshuffle. And they've only lost 1 of their last 7 at home. So even if we draw this game, then we'll get our stake returned for the tip. So I always like to dabble into the draw no bet market, especially if it's evens or odds against.
You love a draw no bet.
I do like a draw no bet.
Casey draw no bet.
That came in for Man City in the Real Madrid game earlier this week.
The old money back.
Absolutely. And then put it all on Atletico Madrid to win the game.
And they did.
And they did.
So I said they were going to win to 0.
You did.
I got
you
laughed
did.
at.
Absolutely. It was lovely.
Everyone. The whole office was in raptures laughter.
Absolute raptures.
So draw no bet.
Draw no bet is my tip there. I just think that Southampton are a decent home team, in good form, scoring plenty of goals, and they're going to be up against a Man City team with eyes on the midweek time.
I agree. I think Man City will definitely play a weakened team. Like they didn't play De Bruyne at the weekend.
Yeah.
Ruined my fantasy team. And I think they're going to do it again and ruin it again.
Another little one in this one, a little dabble into the anytime goal scoring market. Shane Long, he scored 5 goals in his last 9 home league games, and he scored at the Etihad in the reverse fixture. Worst price 13-8, or a much nicer price of 43-20. I think that's a pretty decent price on a Shane Long, who's just an absolute nuisance, isn't he? Up there, buzzing around as he does.
Seems to score the odd goal occasionally.
Absolutely, yeah. 5 in 9 home games, can't argue with that at all.
That's more than the odd goal. So what's the tips?
Okay, so we're going to go for Arsenal to win 2-0 against Norwich at the Emirates, Man United to beat Leicester, best price of 11-10, and Southampton drawing a bet at even money.
That sounds great.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a great accumulator to me. They'll all be going in.
Good stuff, Jake. Well, thanks very much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel for all future tips from Jake's horse racing side or my football side, and the only way to get those, of course, into your YouTube channel is by subscribing to us, which is above Jake's head, right about there. So click on that right now and then head over and subscribe. And thanks very much for watching. My name is Ross Casey and this is Jake Johns, and this has been the Premier League Tips video.
Bye.